We will start our meeting, as we do at all our meetings, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you're able.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We always start our meeting with a couple of announcements. Election Day is November 15th from 8 to 4 for the open seat for the Board of Selectmen. I do have a couple little ones announcements. October 19th, the boosters are having a door-to-door drive. There is open enrollment at the Abington Senior Center for Medicaid. If you have any changes, please schedule that. You can call Amy Barrett. And we're off.
No, the second retiree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Second retiree luncheon is on Friday, April 24th, 2026 at 11 a.m. at the Abington Senior Center for all the retirees. And there'll be more information coming out with that. So our agenda, first, an update on the fire station DPW building project. Mr. Riley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Sean Riley. Just impressive. So many people are here for my DPW. It's Friday.
Yes. We are very interested.
Yes.
So let me give you a quick update on this project we're working on. First of all, I want to thank the committee members, Derek Amati, Bob Perskini, Kevin Dunham, and Gordon Slaney, who've been working for months and months and months on this project. Our project managers, Taylor McDonald, Dave Ambrose, and Anthony Fonseca from Pomeroy Associates are our eyes and ears on the site every day. There's at least 2 of them there. They have been doing a great job representing the interests of the town. So quickly, if I can give you kind of a calendar list of where we are on the project. The new salt shed, the foundation walls have been poured. Installation of waterproofing will be done by the end of the month. Backfilling of the retaining walls will be completed by mid-October. The salt shed structure is expected to be delivered mid-October, with the erection currently scheduled for October 20th through the 14th, so you see that building start taking shape. After the steel is erected, some finish work will be needed, installing the interior walls, electrical connections, and then the final inspection date is targeted for December 5th, at which point thereafter we'll move the road salt from the old salt shed into the new salt shed, which will free up some more space in the work area. The new fuel island and the new driveway paving. Fuel island construction is estimated to occur between September 10th and October 14th, and paving of the new Phase 1 driveway, the base coat only, is expected between October 13th and 17th. The DPW building, all sections of that foundation have been poured and completed. The DPW building steel is supposed to be delivered around October 15th, with the erection of this pre-engineered building to start immediately thereafter. The fire station, the installation of the concrete piers for the building foundation should be starting within the next week or so. We are waiting for some soil testing reports from the DEP and our engineers before we can move forward with there. But once that's resolved, that foundation, you'll see that taking shape, and that's the building that's going to be closest to Central Street. So by the end of October, we should see the salt shed structural framing be erected. The DPW steel framing will be up in the air. The new fuel island should be completed. The base coat of pavement should be in place, and the fire station foundation will be ongoing. We still hope to achieve completion by 2027. I had a lot more to say, but I really a little bit flustered. So do you have any questions?
Yes. Thank the committee. And we do have a question.
Doesn't really pertain so much to the DPW or fire station. So I got one question. Are you familiar with Abington's Best?
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
This is something I really, really wanted.
Well, now you get it.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to read a little something. Whereas Sean Riley has been a driving force behind many townwide activities and capital improvements through the years, instilled with the community spirit to give back by his parents, Ann and Jack Riley. Whereas Sean Riley serves as town moderator, spending many hours of his own time beforehand to ensure that an extremely well-run and efficient town meeting is conducted, as well as being responsible for appointing members to the Finance and Charter Review Committee. Whereas Sean Riley started his sports commentator career along with his friend Kevin Whalen in 1989 as the voice of the Abington Greenway football and basketball games, part of the announcing team that went viral for Nuts and Bolts, We Got Screwed. and has been at it for over 30 years. Whereas Sean Riley provides the notices on the high school sign at the end of Glenowitz Way and was instrumental in obtaining funds for the new digital sign. Up until that time, he was the lone figure who you would find changing the messages by hand about town and school events and all kinds of inclement weather, trying not to get hit by a passing car or school bus. Whereas Sean Riley was instrumental in the building of the Jack B. Riley track and field and continues to coordinate maintenance of it. Sean Riley has been an enthusiastic St. Patrick's Day Parade video commentator for many years. Whereas Sean Riley has organized well-deserved sports celebrations for Abington baseball state champions in football and baseball. Sean Riley has helped refurbish the baseball area memorial field with new dugouts, landscaping, and lighting. Whereas Sean Riley is founder and chief organizer of Abington's Athletic Hall of Fame, which he established in 2014. Sean Riley is a longtime coach of youth soccer and basketball. Whereas Sean Riley was a member of the Tricentennial Committee, providing his time and energy to help Abington celebrate its birthday. Sean Riley runs the yearly auction for the junior class in high school. Sean Riley is a very involved member of the Boosters in Abington Educational Foundation. Whereas Sean Riley has been a member of the School Building Committee, as well as Town Hall Building Committee, Police Station Building Committee. Sean Riley is currently the chairman of the Fire Station and DPW Building Committee. Whereas Sean Riley was named Hometown Hero by Boston 25 News Zip Trip, something the Abington people already knew. Therefore, we recognize your community spirit, generosity, time, and personal commitment to the town of Abington started early in life and continues to this day, and is to be commended and truly appreciated. For these and many other countless reasons, the Abington Select Board, on behalf of its grateful citizens, hereby awards you Abington's Best on this 22nd day of September 2025.
I was coming here to really celebrate Larry Truffin's donation to the town tonight, another project I've been working on. But I want to thank you, and I want to give you notice of my retirement. I quit everything. I love the town. The town was very good to me. These guys behind me, I hope you guys will pay it forward like I learned when I was your age to pay it forward. It's just, there's so many good people, and when I ask for help, I get more than I need. And we try to get everything better than the next guy. There's no reason to be cheap on things. We try to go just have the best. So when Abington scores a touchdown, the entire South Shore knows about it. Let's go, and the music plays. And we got beautiful buildings, again, with great people. The people around the committee that are working with the committee are wonderful. I can't think of another place I live. I gotta thank my wife for putting up with me. Sometimes I spend dinner time up here in this building more often than I do at my own house, but I love you for all the support. I couldn't do it without you. My daughter Jill's here, my family. I hate you all for not telling me this. And all my friends I can see in the crowd. I really appreciate this, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. We have a presentation. Would you like to introduce?
Yeah, the real thing I was here for?
Yes, the real thing you were here.
And I'm glad so many people are here to see this, because for the last year and a half or so, I've been, as a private attorney and volunteer, I've been working with Mr. Larry Truffin from Ashland Street, and along with the Golf Course Committee. Because Larry has had this desire to donate almost 20 acres of land that he owns on Ashland Street to the town of Abington so they can expand the Strawberry Valley Golf Course. The Strawberry Valley Golf Course was formerly Truffin family land. The Truffins ran the golf course, and the town bought it from them. And Larry has basically been watching over it for years, decades really, and grew up in that area. And this, I believe, in my lifetime, is the largest single donation of land to the town of Abington to make recreation and open space even bigger and better for Abington. And it was a pleasure of mine to make this happen. It was the kind of thing that I just love, and I know Larry is really happy that we've done it. But I defer to the golf course committee and let them come up and kind of maybe tell you a little bit more about what this does for us. And then at the end, Mr. Town Manager, Larry does have a copy of the recorded deed of the 20 acres to give to you as a symbolic gesture of his completion of the gift. So anyone from the golf course committee?
Hi, Frank Lane. I've been on the board, I guess, close to 20 years now. A little bit about the course, that people might not know. The town had purchased it, like Sean said, from Larry's mom and dad back in '85 with a recreational grant, tying that into recreation land only, for the record. Larry kind of approached us about 10 years ago, talking, yeah, I guess it's been about 10 years, that he'd like to donate it. His father had a vision when he owned the golf course, and that vision was to fix it. Anybody knows the third hole? It's kind of a tough hole, to go out to the fields that Larry owns and kind of fix it and do that. So we've worked with the committee, Larry and Tommy. Tommy's been a great help, to make sure his wishes were met. You know, Sean had volunteered some of his time. We appreciate that. It wasn't simple. There was a lot of different things. The land was a lot of different lots, and it took separate land courts. But with all that effort, we're here 10 years later. And I can't say enough about this man. All he wants to do is recognize his mom and dad. I mean, that's pretty special. 20 acres of land, and just in memory of his mom and his dad, Dorothy and Philip Frufen. And that's remarkable. And all he wants is a plaque. And we're more than happy to give him that, in the recognition that he deserves on that. And thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Steve Wakeland, Chairman of Strawberry Valley. I'm just here to say a couple of thank yous. Larry, thank you. We can't thank you enough. I'm glad there's a lot of people here for you. I'd like to thank Frankie Lane and Tommy. Without you two pushing it through, it wouldn't have happened. Citizens of Abington, on April 7th, we voted to accept the property, which was really a no-brainer, but thank you for that. And special thanks, and Frank already said it, to Dorothy and Philip Trufen. 40 years ago, they made a decision to, sell the property at a very cheap price to the town, and for 40 years, we've had a golf course. Now with additional 20 acres, we're hoping to expand the golf course, get more golfers, more recreation for the town of Abington. So, thank you, Larry.
Just one last thing for people that might not know this. The golf course has been funded by the revenues from the golf course. Not one penny of tax dollars since they bought it in '85. But that's self-funded, taxpayers don't pay anything for it. And the improvements, one other thing in memory of Mark Sorokas, that got me involved in the board. You know, I said to Mark, you should be running that. Park and Rec should be running. We had a lot of problems. We did that 5 years ago.
Yep.
So the town now runs it. We don't lease it out and let a management company use and abuse our members or the property. And if you haven't seen the golf course lately, we're going to have a Town Appreciation Day, October 19th, Sunday. We're going to have a ceremony, ribbon cutting ceremony for Larry and the land in the plaque. So all are welcome. Anybody from Abington can golf free that day. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Very good, thank you.
So if I can invite Town Manager Scott Lambiase to accept the deed from Mr. Trufen. Once again, we greatly appreciate Larry's generosity. He's a wonderful guy, and this is a great legacy for the Trufen family.
Excellent, thank you.
And just a reminder, so free golf on October 19th, but it's also, again, the Boosters Door-to-Door Drive on October 19th, and kickoff this Friday is at 6 o'clock at Dennis Yarmouth, so make sure you get down there early. Thank you. All right, party at my house.
Thank you all for coming. It is. At this moment, hi, thank you.
State representative, we're gonna have some proclamation. I don't know if the town probably wanna do something for him.
On the 19th?
Okay,
We have a ribbon.
yeah, we'll discuss that. Thank you so much. Continuing with our meeting, I would like to invite Jan Prowl to speak on the Abington Summer Concerts Committee.
I didn't even speak yet and they all left.
Saying your name right.
I'd like to continue the meeting, please. Thank you. Jan Prowl, Abington Summer Concerts Committee. Chair.
No,
No?
just a person.
Just a person.
We just want to give a wrap-up of the summer concerts. Just trying to,
Okay.
okay, it's
Thank
our
you, Jan.
21st season, started by Nancy, who now calls herself the retired advisor. But anyway, it was a great summer. Not as many challenges as the year before. Started out a little slow because we started 4th of July weekend. By the third concert, we were indoors. By the fourth concert, we were indoors. So it was a bit of a challenge, but it worked out. It worked out well. By the time we got to August, things just went crazy. It was really crazy. But anyway, our committee member, Mike, who couldn't be here tonight, he's developed a fantastic website, abingtonsummerconcerts.com, so we're very pleased to have that. Judy, well, Mike's been with us a year now. Judy joined us in June, so both of these people got thrown into the summer right away without any prevision of what they were getting themselves into, except for Judy volunteered. We want to thank our Sunday volunteers. These are people that just come on Sunday. They help with our clickers, they help answer questions, they help direct people, stuff like that. We also have the school, Jamie, who does all the coordination for keeping the snack shack and bathrooms and everything clean, for working with us when we have to reserve the auditorium. For Jamie, that's Jamie. And then Jason, who does any repairs that need to be done. And DPW did their best to get rid of wasps this year. This was a brutal year. And it was Jason that finally got Burgess in there, so they stopped flying around all over the place. It was insane under the bandstand this year. We can't thank Abington Cam enough, who videotaped all of our all of our concerts. They're on abingtoncamtv.com under Abington Summer Concerts, or you can get them off our website too. They go back as far as 2019. We've actually had, now as of this year, 81 bands that have performed at the bandstand since 2005, many of them multiple times. Studio 2, the Beatles tribute, was their 12th consecutive year, and we've already booked them for 2026. DPW, the place looks immaculate every Sunday. I mean, they take such good care of the grounds and take the trash out of there, everything. It's just, they do a wonderful job. We couldn't do it. Again, I love what Frankie and was saying and stuff like that. God, we go back, I can't tell you how long I've known Frank Lane, about not using any town funds. We want to reiterate that with the Abington Summer Concerts. In 21 years, we have never used any town funds. We raise all our funds, own funds, between sponsors and donors. This year, we had 46 sponsors and 25 donors, along with the audience attendees that make donations at intermission. It funds our entire concert program, which can be between $18,000 and $22,000 a summer. So we don't use any town funds at all. So that's another, I mean, it's pretty amazing to have organizations that don't rely on the town, made it keep going. We can't thank the Abington Lions Club enough. They're dwindling down to only a few members now, but keeping the, Wayne's going to be cooking hamburgers and hot dogs when he's 100. But they keep the food going. We don't use anything else but them, and cream, hand scooping 400 or 500 cups of ice cream on a Sunday night. It's pretty cool. The one thing we do have a bit of a challenge with is parking. Last year, we expanded the handicap parking to be on the other side of the tree line all the way. Everything on that side, there's like 60 spaces over there. And during the month of August, we fill them every Sunday by 5:30. So it's a challenge because they keep wanting more spaces, and it's like, what do we do? Set aside the whole library and town hall parking lot? It's, getting to be that. Or they drop somebody off, and then the other person has to walk, bless you, has to walk quite a distance to get there. So we would like some help. We did mention it in June with the possibility of the use of a van again. We didn't have it last year, and we rented one, cost us nearly $4,000 for the summer just to have it on Sunday for 4 hours. We'd love to know what's happening to the old senior van, because we really, I mean, granted, it's only 8 weeks during the summer, but a lot of people really missed it the past 2 years, especially.
Bless you.
Bless you. The parking is like kind of all over the place. So if there's anything anybody can think of for a shuttle that's similar to the senior van, because it has to be a good size. Seniors don't bend, so it can't be a van where you have to crawl inside. They just can't do it. And they got chairs to bring in and stuff too, so we'd like to have that as a consideration to think what we can do possibly next year. If they are keeping the old van, we'd love to know that. We also have 2 openings. The committee was expanded to 5 members last year, so we still have 2 openings as of now. But we want to let you know that the attendance at the concerts, I can't even tell you, it grew during the month of August from 528 to 775 to 946 to 2,022 people at the last concert. So I'd like to share a drone video. This is from the video, a drone shot, and this was my own camera. That's only 2/3 of the audience that I took from ground level. That one doesn't show as many people because it's after intermission, and people ask me how I knew that. Well, number one, I knew the timeline on the video, but I also knew there was no people in line for ice cream and no people in line for food, and many people in line for the bathroom. So that's how I knew it was, we just grabbed one off of the, Kevin gave us that, but that's just from, that's only 2/3 of the field, by the way. There was still many, many, many more people, and we did not have one problem, one incident, and I think some people were parked at Giordano's. So anyway, it's been fantastic. We will be putting up on our website the 2026 donation forms. We were already handed checks at the concerts. I received one in the mail the other day. Some people like to take a donation before the end of the year for a tax write-off. So this will be on our Facebook page probably around October 1st, and about the same on our abingtonsummerconcerts.com website. So if people want to do it and they want to mail it in, they can. Anyway, that's kind of the summer. It was amazing. It's a lot of work. I won't tell you. I won't play a game and tell you that I'm not exhausted on Sunday night when I go home, and Judy and Nancy was there too, wanting to know what else she could do. So we can't do it without the support of the Selectboard, who appoints the committee. Judy's in her first year, Nancy's forever. Mike is just starting his 2nd year, and this was my 15th year. So it was all Nancy's fault. But anyway, we want to thank all the townspeople and out-of-towners. I mean, we have so many people that come from both, and when you got an audience, not granted, it was a great band, hello, But we thought in 2023, when we had 1,500, that was a lot of people. Oh, we can fit 2,000. And then we had over 2,000, so it was pretty amazing. And we borrowed the stanchions from the town elections from Leanne. DPW, of course, again, got them to us so that we could leave the middle of the bandstand open so they could videotape, or else you never would have seen the bandstand because people are down front. So again, we thank the Select Board for all the support, all the town departments. I hope I didn't forget anybody, but all the town departments, the residents. We had 46 sponsors this year, 25 donors, so I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I just want to thank everybody for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Moving on, I would like to invite John Stone, DPW Director, for an update.
Thank you, Suzanne. I was going to start with some of the ongoing projects and recent projects and upcoming projects. I passed out a slideshow. Everyone get it? Mm-hmm. All right, and there'll be one on the website for those at home who can't see it. We don't have it on the screen here. So today we activated the four-way stop at Groveland and Linwood Streets. This was a grant from the state that started a new program earlier this year and identified that particular intersection as a candidate for a four-way stop. So we applied, got the grant money, and today it is active. Both chiefs know about it, and Scott knows about it, and so far so good. No complaints, no accidents. Hopefully it slows everyone down, and then there's less accidents. It was a very dangerous intersection. A lot of accidents, a lot of cars hitting our signs. We were up there all the time putting up new signs, new stop signs. So hopefully that, slows everyone down and makes it a lot safer. Going on to the next page, Center Ave Bridge. I'm sure a lot of you noticed there was a lot of activity going on over there the last couple of months. This is another grant we got. A couple of years back, we got a grant through the state's small bridge program for design of the Center Ave Bridge. And then 2 years later, we got a construction grant through the same state program. So it didn't cost the taxpayers any money, directly anyway. And that project is wrapping up. The only thing left is asphalt paving, which they'll do coming up. And then we printed out some pictures of what was wrong, in case anyone's interested, of why we had to close the bridge and why people had to be inconvenienced by closing the bridge at some points. Granite slabs were cracked, a couple of them, so they replaced them with cast-in-place concrete slabs, and the pictures depict the issues. So again, this will be up on the website if you want to take a look at. And then going forward, we recently replaced the Walnut Street pump station. We have 13 pump stations in town. A couple of years back, we did the Summer Street one, which is our largest pump station. We upgraded that. This was next on our list. It was built in 1988. A lot of engineers will say they have a lifespan of 40 years. This was approaching 40 years old, 1988. So that's done, almost done. So that'll be slowing down up there. Next page, we recently received a grant through the state's Shared Streets and Spaces grant program to reconstruct that intersection and make it safer for cars and pedestrians alike. So that's in the design process right now. We're going to try to squeeze it in this construction season. It'll also include 400 feet of granite curb, concrete sidewalk, a continuation of what we did through the prior grant. So that'll be happening soon. That'll make that intersection very safe. I'm sure all of you are aware of that. The problems with that intersection, the dangers, the hazards.
Will you, John, on that one, you'll be able to complete it
I think so.
by winter?
Yep. Our engineers think so, and we think so. We're meeting with them on Wednesday.
Good.
Then we'll go to bid, go through that bidding process, 39M. And hopefully, we get some good bids. And, I think we'll get it done this construction season.
Perfect.
Then we have, the next page is the Hancock Street and Chestnut Street intersection. I'm sure everyone's aware about this. This is a project we initiated through the state back in 2017. It's been a long process. We were able to get it onto the state's tip list. Again, it's sort of a grant in the amount of $8.5 million. A roundabout will be going there, and along with refuge islands for pedestrians to make it safer for them. It'll make it a lot less dangerous. We're gonna shave the hill down, and this is going out to bid in January, and construction starting tentatively probably July. And that's a 2-year project, and hopefully everything goes well with that, and that will make this intersection much safer. And going on to the next page, this is the most dangerous intersection in town according to Old Colony Planning Council. We tapped into the state's transportation improvement program again for this one. Right now has a price tag of $4.2 million. This one did meet the warrants for a traffic signal, so there'll be a traffic signal here along with better pedestrian accommodations and slip lanes for left turn lane only. And geographic realignment. I don't know if for those of you aware of the intersection, it's kind of off-kiltered. It'll make it straighten it out a bit. So this is scheduled to go out to bid in federal fiscal year 2027. So that'll make this intersection a lot safer. So I think we're making Abington a lot safer with all these intersection projects. Ongoing, we have we're continuing our manhole lining program. It restores structural integrity to the manhole at about half the cost of open, cut, and replace. We have about 300 of them done since probably 2018, and there's a total of 1,750 manholes. So we're going to keep going with that over time, paid through SOAR receipts. We received a grant for a design of the Summer Street sidewalk. There's a gap on Summer Street between Progress and Walnut where people will be walking down the middle of the road to go to the train station. So we received this $500,000 grant for design, and then after that, next year or whatever, we'll try to pursue construction grant for the sidewalk. And they're also looking at the intersection of Summer and 58, maybe better traffic light upgrades there. Going forward, we'd like to try to apply for the grant for Safe Routes to School to continue the sidewalk, the granite curbed concrete sidewalk from Beaverbrook heading up towards the center of town near like Bailey's and Abington Liquors. And next page just gives a rundown of what we're doing right now as the mowing season wraps up and athletic fields. The games wrap up, and we can start going on to some of our road work. We have a long list of resident requests for berms. Chapter 90, which funds our road work, only goes so far, so we have to maintain the roads that we have that we can't completely pave. So we're just getting a start on that probably this week. We'll go as long as we can until the asphalt plant closes in November. And then the next 2 pages are related to our staffing. I've been over this before. I'm not going to get into it right now. Maybe some other time.
Thank you.
And that's about it. That's what we got going on.
Very good, excellent.
Very good.
Any questions?
Oh, very good report, Tim.
Thank you so
very
much. We're very busy, our DPW department.
Brian Cronin, 458 Summer Street. What you're saying about the Route 58 and Summer Street light is very important, but do you have any impact on the speed limit or any way of having this?
The state usually dictates speed limits based on traffic and things of that, and houses.
Right, so they've got that little bit from Progress Street to Walnut Street that's 40 miles an hour, which
Yes.
is a problem now, and I would anticipate it would be a huge problem as soon as you go from 40 to 35 to millions of, lots of cars coming out of the station.
It could be at some point. I believe this body now has the authority to reduce the speed limit. Maybe it's something they can look into at some point.
Okay, but that would be the state.
I think it's a combination of the state and this board.
Okay, that would be helpful.
Okay, we'll look into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A vote to accept the $50,000 donation from Delaware North Bank
For the ice
For-
hockey.
for the
Street
street
hockey.
hockey. Street hockey.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Lindsay, you want to come up?
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you? Before we start, I'd like to congratulate you. I've heard you got a certification for the Massachusetts Municipal Treasurer.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You worked really hard for that. So the band.
Yes, ban. Additionally, I am here today to, there's a $4.2 million ban, waiting for approval, and signature pages. I forwarded documents this morning. I didn't know if you had a chance to take a look at those.
Yep.
Perfect.
I will move we approve the ban as recommended by the town treasurer in relation to the issuance for the DPW and fire station, the fuel island, and the memorial fields.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
Congratulations.
Vote to approve September 8th, 2025 minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the September 8th, 2025 minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Number 8 on our agenda, action plan regarding our rat problem. I refer to Scott, or actually I refer to the Board of Health. Chris, I'm so sorry. You're right in the corner, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hi, Chris Schultz, Health Agent for the Board of Health. So we have rats. Long story short, it's an ecosystem out of balance, destruction of habitat. We've had a couple of warm winters, so the broods haven't died off as much, so there's a large increase. Abington's seeing the same thing as all our neighboring towns are seeing, where rats are always here. We usually don't see them. Now they're coming into backyards, they're becoming more of a pest. So what we're doing, continuing to ask and rely on residents to report rat sightings to us. I've got a map that I've created, and what we are trying to look to see if we could correlate between placement of dumpsters, backyard animals, anything that might be attracting rats. The short version of that is there's really not a big correlation. They're everywhere. Every time we have construction, we'll see an increase in rat activity in that area. So what we've been doing is when people call with a rat complaint, we mark where it is. Generally what I'll do is I'll send out a mailing. It's just basically a one-page FAQ sheet. We have 2 different versions. There's one, what to do if you see a rat. It's basic tips on keeping your yard clean. And then we have a second one if people are reporting an infestation of rats. And the problem with rats is it doesn't matter how clean your yard is or what you're doing, it's a neighborhood problem. So what we're trying to do is focus on making sure that everybody in the neighborhood is keeping their yards clean. The big sources seem to be bird feeders and dog feces. Those are 2 things that are attracting rats. I know some people have backyard chicken coops, but a well-maintained chicken coop is not a rat attractant. When we get reports of problems in the backyard, I'm limited by Fairview law. I can go and look, but without a property owner's permission, I can't go onto the property to see what's going on back there. So if we notice a problem or it's something I can observe, we will reach out. There are cases where we've issued correction orders to get a yard cleaned up. I'm happy to report that some residents over at Kingsgate complained about rats, and when I went over and investigated that, I found that all the dumpsters were missing plugs. Well, they have drain plugs on the bottom that are supposed to be sealed. They were all missing, so the rats were pulling everything out. Reached out to Boston Carting, they replaced them or repaired all of them. That solved that problem. So really what we need people to do is police the yards. If you do have an infestation in the yard, your best course of action is calling in an exterminator. The department and the town. We are not exterminators. We are not licensed to do that. There are companies out there. My only recommendation would be, you got some of those old-time guys out there who are just putting traps. That's really not an effective way. What you want to find is a pest control company that uses what's called integrated pest management. It's just basically 3 or 4 different methods to get combined together. Trapping, monitoring, poisoning, whatever, and that seems to be the most effective. So it's education. That's really what we're limited to doing. I had been compiling a list of all the dumpsters in town, and I can tell you there are a lot of dumpsters in town. My intention was to start going out and inspecting every single one and make sure they're all compliant. That's a lot of work. We've had some staffing reductions recently, so we're trying our best to prioritize. And, again, I'm relying on the public to call in complaints, and we address them as best we can. I don't know if there's specific questions from you guys, but...
Any questions from the board?
No, I clearly, it's been a problem around for a long time, and the easiest thing, sometimes if you just go down to the grain store, they have rat bait bars. You can just bait them yourself for $15. If you know what you're doing, you just put the bait around, or if you see the holes in the yard, you can put it down the hole, and generally speaking, that should abate, the immediate problem anyway,
Yeah.
so.
I know some people have concerns about the environmental impact of poisoning rats, secondary animals eating the rats. I can tell you that a couple of conferences I have gone to, experts in the pest control field have said a lot of those reports of owls and eagles dying, it's actually from avian bird flu and not from the poison. So while poisoning other animals is a concern, it's not as bad a problem as it's been made out to be. So.
Right. Very good, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Can I have a question?
Can you come up to the podium, though, please?
Hi, Jane.
I know.
Jan Prell, 20 Cleverly Street. Just a thought with the dumpsters. Not a problem with Boston Carting, but it was with previous ones. They don't inspect their dumpsters, which means when they're lifting them up in the air, someone needs to get out of the truck and look underneath, because that's how I would find, if I was outside, the rust. And there'd be holes in the dumpsters, holes in the corners and stuff like that. Someone needs to have them occasionally, maybe once a month or something, when they have the dumpster in the air, inspect it and make sure there aren't any holes where they can pull anything through. And those squirrels and everything chew those plastic covers.
Yep.
And so anything can get in there with those plastic covers. Matter of fact, they can even open them. So just a thought with the underneath especially. Okay.
Thank you.
Good point.
I wasn't going to, but I'm going to.
Ms. Gendro?
Do you want me to stay here? Or?
Literally don't. I think you've already said it to you. I just kind of want to put it out there to the town manager, Donna Gendro, I don't know if I need to tell you, 63 Pearl Street. The city of Cambridge, they had funds, I don't know if it was through a grant or where it came from, where they were able to give every resident, you told me about dry ice. They were able to give dry ice to the residents to put in holes if you had holes in your yard. That acts as, you can speak more to it, I'm sure, it acts as some type of poison and they can't breathe if it's in the holes. So I don't know if there's like a grant out there that maybe we could access, or some funds that we might have available, so that the burden isn't just put on the townspeople. Like, yes, we have rats here, but you're responsible, you need to take care of it. Because my yard, I don't have animals, so I don't have dog feces, I don't have chickens, I don't have bird feeders anymore, like in the last 3 years. I have none of that, and I was overrun by rats. So I'm no longer, because I am paying an exterminator, and I've noticed my neighbor looks like they might have some bait stations in their yard, but I feel like if the town is overrun, and they've been here for a long time, I understand we didn't see them, but now we are seeing them, and I feel like it's a health issue. I've been here before, and I've said that. And you watch the news, the city of Cambridge is able to give dry ice to all their residents, and they are a bigger town, bigger city. They're also paying anybody who comes looking for it, they will pay the first month of an exterminator. And I'm not asking you to do that, because I know that's a lot of money. But dry ice, I don't know how much it costs. I don't know what we need to do or look into about doing that. I know I said it at one of your meetings. I didn't even know about it, so you mentioned it. But when I heard the city of Cambridge is able to do it for their residents, rather than just saying to the residents, keep your yard clean, good luck, let me know where you see them, I feel like maybe the town should be doing more. And so I was hoping tonight, I heard there's an action plan going to be talked about. I don't feel like this is an action plan. I feel like it's just the same thing being reiterated again, where it's like, keep your yard clean, let me know where you see them. That doesn't sound like much of a plan. That just sounds like something you're doing, and I appreciate that, but I feel like there needs to be a plan where the town takes a little more responsibility for it as well. That's just my 2 cents.
Thank
Okay, thank you.
We can look into, I can look into that. Sorry.
Judy O'Brien, 36 West Chapel Street. I just have a quick question. If a house has been vacant for years, for like a lot of years, is there a plan in place that the house is supposed to be exterminated before it's torn down?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
when a house goes for demolition, there's a couple of steps. Health agent is notified on asbestos and pests. So those are 2 things two boxes got to get checked before it gets torn down.
Okay, well, that's good to know about the asbestos, too. So then, do they alert the neighbors? Anybody tell us?
But no,
Okay.
that's something.
I'm just curious because we had a house right up the street. I'm on West Chapel, and there's a house on 18 that now has 2 properties on it. Not 2 properties, but 2 duplexes on it. But there was a house that had been vacant, I want to say probably a good 15 years there. Now, we always had, the colder weather's coming in, and all of a sudden you'd find 1 or 2 mice come in, and you put your traps down, and problem solved. And on a holiday weekend, a little over, several years now, a couple of years now, the house was torn down. Now, the neighbors were not told about this. It happened on a holiday weekend, a long weekend, and all of a sudden, being outside and playing with kids, there was this major, debris, smoke that, hit the neighborhood, and people went inside because it, but that was from the house being taken down. We were not alerted that that was going to happen, and, but directly after that, within days, the neighborhood got hit big time with mice and rats, and I know that several of our neighbors have reached out, and there was one neighbor that had a rat nest evidently that on their property. Then I know they did report that. So this is going back like a year, and right after we all noticed, we did get one of your letters stating that there was a definite infestation, rodent infestation, I think it was called, in the neighborhood, and we were all like, really? Of course, because we already knew that. But anyway, we're all correlating that to that house that came down, because it was directly when that house came down within days, and I'm talking everybody's living out of plastic totes still a year later. So I was just curious.
Thank you. Good. Town manager, FY budget,
I will defer to
Mr. Young.
Mr. Donovan.
Yes, it's no secret, as we've been talking actually last year and this year, that this coming budget year is going to be very challenging for the town. We're looking, last year, we were able to skate out of it where every town around us was going for overrides. Abington did not have to face that because we were able to plug together the budget with some one-time revenues. That's not going to be able to be the case this coming year. We've articulated that on many occasions. And moving forward into the budget year, we've done everything feasibly possible to come up with additional revenues so that, the impact is still going to be felt. I've said then, and I'm going to state again, and it's going to be part of my motion, that when we go to town meeting, that the warrant be structured in such a way that of the monies that we have, which will be limited, that the warrant will contain the recommendation, the town manager will make his budget recommendations, and that will be within the confines of the monies that we have. Then there will be a contingent line item, contingent on a Proposition 2.5 override, to bring it up to level service. We're striving to make level funded. I don't know whether we're going to be able to achieve that. So what that means is level funded based on the appropriation of last year. Now, there are contractual increases, cost of, just the general cost of utilities and so forth that go well beyond that. And so there are going to have to be some hard decisions to be made. What part of my motion is that the contingent appropriation will be to bring it up to level service, meaning the current level of services that we enjoy now. So it's going to take a two-pronged approach. One, it'll be up to people at town meeting on May 4th. We've extended town meeting a month to give the Finance Committee time to vote on it. And then, as part of my motion, we would call a special election for May 16th to deal with those contingent appropriations to see how the people wish to do, so how they wish to fund it. But it will be done department by department. I feel strongly now that it should be up to the people to make a determination based on their affordability to pay, whether they want to vote for, one particular department, vote for all of them, or department by department. I do not believe we jumble everybody into one number and put it out there, because I think it gives the impression we're trying to force something, and it's more of a democratic process from that. So accordingly, I would move, it is hereby directed by the Select Board that the following shall constitute the process and implementation of the FY27 operating budget of the town to the people of Abington for their final consideration and enactment. 1, as previously voted by the Select Board, the annual town meeting shall take place on Monday, May 4th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at Abington High School Auditorium, 201 Glenowitz Way, Abington, then and there to debate and consider the town manager's budget and recommendations of the Finance Committee. The warrant for the annual town meeting shall be construed as follows. Pursuant to the authority granted to the Select Board under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 39, Section 10A, each department shall be listed in the usual and customary format with the town manager's recommendation, which shall contain a recommended appropriation for the respective department within the total revenues currently available to the town based on the revenue forecast, which shall include the current local aid numbers as appearing in the Governor's House 2 submittal or subsequent amendments by the legislature, and B, a second line item with departmental recommendation and listed, quote, to be contingent upon a Proposition 2.5 override, close quote, that will achieve level service for the ensuing fiscal year. 2, in order to consider the amounts that will be voted upon contingent upon a Proposition 2.5 override, a special town election is hereby called under authority granted to the Select Board pursuant to the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 59, Section 21CG. It is the Select Board and not town meeting that decides the format of the ballot questions and election. See the Department of Revenue Division of Local Services Bulletin entitled Proposition 2.5 Ballot Questions, Requirements and Procedures, dated August 2017. The election for Saturday, May 16th, 2026, at the Beaverbrook Elementary School, Ralph Hamlin Lane, Abington. The polls to be open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Further, that the ballot question shall be prepared in such a manner that each department shall be a separate question requesting the amount to be appropriated in excess levy for the respective department, board, or commission. The question shall also be worded in such a manner as to inform the voters the projected cost to the tax rate for each amount if allowed by law. In order to effect the printing of the ballot, the Select Board shall notify the town clerk on or before March 23rd, 2026, as to the amounts that shall appear on the ballot for each department, board, or commission. 3, the dollar amounts to be placed on the ballot for the respective departments, boards, and commissions shall be the difference required to achieve a level service budget for the ensuing fiscal year. 4, the school committee, if it so chooses, shall notify the town manager prior to March 23rd, 2026, of the amount it wishes to have the voters consider on the override election, provided, however, that should the school committee not provide this number, then the Select Board will include the number which is the difference to achieve level services. That is my motion.
I'll
Is there a
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like to congratulate Thomas McNulty, a retired Master Sergeant. He was appointed to the Veterans Council.
Yeah, we're going to vote that now.
Oh, and we need to vote.
And I will make a motion, we appoint Thomas McNulty to the Veterans Council.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And at this point, we are going to leave for executive meeting.
Yeah, I will move we go into executive session pursuant to the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21(3), to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, to wit, the Abington Managers Association, and we will reconvene an open session for the purposes of voting on that particular contract, and then adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all.
Okay, Madam Chairman, I would move we approve the contract by and between the Town of Abington and the Abington Managers Association as reported and delineated in the contracts that were presented by the town manager.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in
5:58.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, and good evening.